First of all, I'd like to congratulate Just Be. This is amazing. It's good to see a well-organized event that we put on, isn't it? We're always getting criticized for putting events, and it's always chaotic and nothing actually runs in order. But I'd like to salute Deborah and Yvette and Alison and the rest of the team for a fantastic event that you put on. Thank you.
Yeah, we know.
Give them a round of applause, eh? Well, I think we can also give ourselves a round of applause for surviving 400 years of trauma. You know, I think we make it. Our experience in the last 400 to 500 years has been, no one in history has ever experienced what we have experienced. So I was in the theme, in the beginning. Everybody okay? Okay, in the beginning. And I thought, in the beginning of what? Because obviously that's a big topic and I haven't got much time. So I thought it would be in the beginning, Britain's black heritage. And you're thinking, what black heritage? Because you thought we came with the Windrush, right? Okay. Well, look, first of all, before we do anything, I was sitting on the table here with Juna Bogle, and I'd like to salute you, sir, as a descendant of Paul Bogle. And I'd like to salute all of those people who, like Paul Bogle, Sam Sharp, Harriet Tubman, you know, Denmark Vesey, Nat Turner, David Walker, all these people. What do they have in common? They have the selflessness of sacrifice. What do I mean? I mean, they step forward and speak truth to power. You know what it's like to speak truth to power? That means you're putting yourself out there, and anything out there, that means you could expect death. You know, speaking truth to power takes a lot of courage. Thank you. You know, and you heard everyone from these wonderful guests and everyone speaking, the High Commissioner and Carol Woodman, speaking about history and speaking about things that are hidden. We have to fight for our history. Your history is so amazing. Maybe many of you know it, maybe some of you don't. Because we have been, how can I say, bombarded with these premature cognitive commitments that we make when we're young. That means with television, movies. All these things are designed to create a false or reverse reality for you. And those are the things we buy into, those are the things we believe and carry forward with us for the rest of our lives. Those are the roots of our belief systems. And so we're told about slavery, you see movies. Ladies and gentlemen, movies are not made for entertainment. They're made for education. And we need to realize that. So be careful what you expose our children to. Okay? So, you know, I want to, you talk about Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman epitomizes the fact that women were also at the forefront of the freedom struggle. And I'm reminded of a story of hers when she escaped from slavery. She took two of her brothers with her, and they'd gone a long ways forward. And the two men said to her, "You want to go back?" And she said, "What do you mean you want to go back? You're free." And when I think of that, they're not used to freedom, you see. They were scared of freedom. So she took them back to the plantation. And then she went on her way on her own, a woman. She made lots of trips back, as you know the story. And many times, she would have to threaten the men because they wanted to go back. Or they were scared. And she would say, "If you don't want to go forward, I will shoot you." Can you imagine? So what we have during the slave period is women taking the role of men and becoming leaders. And we see that today many times. You see Just Be doing wonderful things here, taking the role as leaders. So men have to step up, you know. But only by knowing our history can we know who we were. You see, if we don't know who we were, we don't know who we are. And if we don't know who we are, then we don't know what we could be. So it's very important because every nation spends millions of pounds on the history, but you're told to forget yours. Well, why is that? Why don't you know about history? The history we get in school, what is education for? Education is there to create minions. Yeah, not teaching you how to think, but teaching you what to think. So if you want to know your history, you have to look for it. You have to seek it. It won't find you because of the very nature of it. You have to go and look for it. Okay, so I remind of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson said, "I tremble for my country when I realize that God is just, and His justice cannot sleep forever." Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner with 4 plantations. what was he saying? You see, even in the times where you're lying to yourself, you have moments of realization where it's just you and God. And you know that what you're doing is wrong. So what he was predicting for the future was that at some point, we will have to pay for the things that we've done to these people.